so devoted to spirit. She practices everything that she speaks and writes. She's authentic and transparent and has a great wisdom pouring through her, and a great inner strength, of course, which it takes to follow the spirit in a very deep, uncompromising way. And also, Bhakti is talented. She's multilingual. She speaks many languages. She plays the guitar. She sings. Wow, the angels are rejoicing with the way you give your life over to spirit and to God. So just thank you so much for coming on with me today. It's just a great honor to have you and have a conversation with you.
Thank you, David. For me, I'm so happy for this opportunity with you and to share and to be in this great communication. Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's so many things we could talk about because I know, wow, you've just gone through so many amazing heart-opening experiences and mind-expanding experiences, from traveling to India when you were younger and more at the beginning of your spiritual journey, and going through lots of, we'll say, unwinding and dismantling that you go through, and just letting go of concern for the body, being there at Arville and in India. And then we have a mutual friend in the Middle East, there in Israel, that you've been able to go and visit. And really, maybe you could just share a little bit about how it's just been this journey that you've just kept the faith with all these years. In terms of the authentic spiritual journey, it can seem, to the ego, it seems messy, it seems dark, and it seems extremely intense at times, but your faith has grown so strong through all those trials and all those challenges.
Oh, yes. Say that the essence of my past is that is in the center of my life, and I was really struggling, and as everybody else, I tried to find a world, and I felt so much pain to do that, to trying to be someone. Actually, my past started with it was this incredible pain. I can't. It's not the purpose of my life to take a special role and to achieve something, to reach something. That felt so. At the time I was so depressed, and I was growing up in Luxembourg. At the time I was traveling everywhere. I had my horses, but inside I felt bad and so depressed, and I started when I opened up to the sea. Here I am. I can't live in this way. I'm not able to do that. But here I am. My life just guide me, and how it started. And then I work. I sold my horse, my car, and yeah, and then I went to India, to Orville. That's just the way it started. And I met others, but just helpful encounters, and there my journey started. And were many states in this development, and many traps also, also because I went to all the traps on this spiritual and until I really found this being in service. 2006, I really also to the course in miracles, and I have been in the desert. Yeah, that's also. Then I met Afrat, and I went to everything what is written down in the course, everything I think. And some years of being these miracles, there was darkness coming up, and all the ideas of what I have to do, and and also some desires of the heart, and I also thought that I have to sacrifice all those. It was really a process, deep, to offer all those desires, and and I found the freedom in this prayer. Decide nothing on my own. Really, it's thy will be done. That there is this wonderful plan of healing, and and that he's separate from my own will. So and this in this process, many stations of my, so also then motherhood. I have a son. Everything what appears, and actually my joy with Course in Miracles is really that I see so easy to love and to be more and more in this radiant, and my special function, that's my vehicle. It's like it's my wake up call. It's it's always the purpose of every station in all my relations. And for me personally, so much the form, how calls or I and this small community in my house. It's yes, I don't have a form here because it's just like I am. I don't have a special in my life. It's like just about to be who I am in every situation, in every relationship, and to follow the guidance, to hear the voice of the Spirit and to receive it from me and to share it. Not for others, but all at the same time. It's what I see for me. I hear and I share it. It's like Spirit speaking. That's what I and there I am really straight to practice that, because I don't want to more, and I want to meet everyone in this in this identity of love.
So beautiful. I'm in the middle of doing an online retreat called The Miracle is Involuntary. And I think that your life is just a great example of that, that Jesus says in the Course, miracles are involuntary and they should not be under conscious control. And there was a time where you said, well, would you write a foreword or introduction to my book that's coming out, a trilogy of books. And so I got to read the book and I could really feel that when I read your book. The first one was even when you were in India and you had sold your horse when you were up in Europe, but then when you were going through this big dismantling, then even horses showed up there at Auroville. You were able to work in the stables. So how gentle the Holy Spirit is to bring those same symbols that you relate to that help carry you through that experience. And then when you came up and then when you had Cillian, that was another experience. This is what is given to me. So how beautiful that you've been able to pour your heart and have so much love extended into Cillian and such a deep connection, and that you're just listening to what comes out of his mouth because the Spirit comes through so much in that way. And that's such a great example too for parents, because sometimes parents feel like their child is more in a typical way, they have to really raise the child to be a good citizen or a good provider and money maker and contribute to the gross national product. And your relationship with Cillian is not that. It's this deep. It's a holy relationship of openness, of connection, of transparency. And then also, I remember you called me when you were just on a walk with your mother, and she was guided to sell. Just came right out to you and said, "I'm guided to sell an apartment, and I want you to put this money towards buying a house where you and Cillian and other mighty companions can come." And this is so important too, because this is just showing how just at the right time, things are given as symbols that are perfectly effortless, not something you were trying to make happen. It just dropped into your lap. And then more healing. I mean, getting a house in the woods and in beautiful nature, and then working to fix it up. But that was a whole other phase. And then the mighty companions start showing up, and then whenever you have a group of people live together, whether it's just two people in a relationship or a household with you and Cillian, financial considerations come up. How do we spend the money, and how do we handle the money, and those kind of things, which everybody deals with on a practical basis. But for me, your life has been just one flow, one series of involuntary miracles, where you lead with your devotion, where you just want to see our shared identity in everyone that you meet. And then as you go forward with that, then the backdrop just shows up. It's not something that you have to put a lot of effort in. It's in some ways, it's like a fairy tale. I mean, if we put down all of our life story, people would say, wow, there's some real dark times and hard times. But now I don't think either of us feel that way. It feels like we were like a twig in the river. Somehow we were just getting carried along down. When the river turns and twists, we're just happily bobbling along and going along. And it shows how when you have a devotion to God, everything is taken care of, everything without exception, for you, for your mighty companions. I think I read a couple of days ago, I think you said Cillian starting the second grade, and even to be pretty much, we'll say, like a single mother in the middle of a pandemic. I just so enjoyed reading what you were writing, because it was basic things like with lockdowns and going to buy groceries in the grocery store, or places where Cillian could be or couldn't be. And you just lovingly took every single situation as just an opportunity to live in grace, just live by the grace of God. And I do feel like that is such a strong example, because we both know when we tried to fit into the world, and we both had skills and abilities, and coming from Luxembourg, you already had what people would say is a great lifestyle, and yet you weren't happy. And I think it was the same with me. I seem to have all my material needs met, but there was an emptiness inside, like, this is not why I'm here. It's almost like something gets activated in us that's taking us in a very different direction from the typical ways of the world. And also to not judge anything. I mean, I know you were posting, or sometimes people write in, why do you wear makeup, and do you eat vegetarian or organic, and all those things. I get all that too, because when you're public, whether Facebook or whatever, then you're just there to shine the light. But then there seems to be these thoughts that swirl around that something should be different. And yet we're kind of in this graceful state where we know everything's just exactly perfect as it is. And we don't need to change. And we don't need to try to act spiritual or follow some kind of spiritual regimen. And you do that so well. You just live there. You're raising your son. You have a group of mighty companions that live with you, and it's very natural. I get the feeling that you're just living the most authentic, natural life there could be, and just saying, "This is me. This is me. I'm not going to make any excuses or try to even try to justify anything. There's nothing to justify. It's just you're living a wonderful life, and sharing it, not necessarily by trying to, speak around the world or whatever, but just by your presence. And that to me is also what a teacher of God is. A teacher teaches through demonstration, above all, beyond the words even. The attitude and the demonstration of how you carry yourself is the highest quality of a teacher of God. And I have met many teachers of God around the world, and that the things that really touch me the most are the humbleness, are the faithfulness. When you meet somebody, you really are there, fully present with them. You're giving of your whole self. You're not just trying to navigate through the world. You're just taking every moment and just giving of your heart. So, wow, what a wonderful life. This is like we have a very honored life to just be our natural self.
Yes. Thank you so much, David. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, really beautiful preface in my book, so deeply. Yeah. And yeah, and I could say my path gets really smooth because it's so clear that of my life is the holy instant. And of course I am living here, and there are essential issues and in a relationship. And yeah, there's this just have to take it and to offer it to him, and to just to be in this presence. And yeah, of course sometimes I feel those feelings of being helpless and yeah, not anything. And it's just, yes, I wasn't in this, and I go into the prayer. I just feel that my life becomes a prayer, and yeah, and then miracle help is there, and this plan, just it's an yes, of every little step. Spirit, here I am, just show me the next step I follow, and I am in this, open up my mind for this voice, and the voice through my brothers. Actually, it's really simple. It's when, yeah, when darkness comes up, it's just so, yeah, so many of us, and of course I experienced that also, then struggling and to to be in this conversation with trying to resolve something there, and just have to accept the atonement. That's such a such an important prayer reminder. Responsibility is to accept the atonement, and then healing happens. And of course I at me and everyone with this of love and humbleness. This humbleness, I open up myself to Spirit. But Spirit, my humbleness, he just needs that I identify what I really am, that I identify with love. And that's everything. Aging.
Yeah, it is amazing. Well, to me, it's, you, because of your humbleness and your openness and just your willingness to be of service to God, it's just from the prayer of your heart, so much comes through. I mean, you are quite a beautiful, I would say almost like a scribe for Spirit, because I remember we talked at one point and you thought, well, I don't mind writing some stuff down, but I'm not going to put it on Facebook. And then the day came to put it on Facebook, and you were just so willing to, okay, do that. And then I think so many people have been touched by you allowing the Spirit to come through and to write. And it's a practical way of writing. It has deep ideas, but it's always woven together with the practical, and that's, I think, so important. You don't skip over anything. You talk about the things that you're facing in your own life, and how by surrendering they resolve. Everything that was a challenge resolves itself through that prayer and through that faith. And also, I guess it's more than just describing with the words, but you've written songs, beautiful, beautiful, touching songs, and play the guitar. And I think there's something about music that just kind of goes right into the heart. It just doesn't filter through the intellect, because people, when you're on a stage or you're playing with your mighty companions, we can see the joy on your face. We can see everybody is having so much fun. You're so happy with it. And it's a felt experience. So I think that's another way of transmitting the love and the light, is that way through the music. So, and the other thing people should know is that, of course, when we even talked about doing this conversation, I think you were on a vacation with Cillian, and people should know, there are time for vacations where you go off with your son and have a wonderful time, an intimate experience, a spaciousness with you and your son on a vacation to away from the house and school and all the other things. And sometimes people feel like, oh, if I give my life to Spirit, then I'll never have another vacation, or I'll never get to do the things that I want to do, because it's just that deep belief in sacrifice. But I think you're demonstrating that actually, no, there is no sacrifice in following God. That you can have fun on a vacation, you can have fun walking silly into his first day of school, and just I know how I was in the second grade. When I went to the second grade, I was a little bit scared. I think at the beginning of every school year, meeting a bunch of new children, new classmates, new teachers. I I remember those grade school years where I just was, I would have loved to always have my mother walking me or uh, taking my hand to go through those experiences, because they were quite. I was very shy, so it was, quite fearful. Change. It was just a big change. I felt comfortable at home with my pets, my dog or my cats, but with new people and new situations, there was a bit of fear. So I think it's a good example of how you just live your life, and then you just offer yourself to bring peace. You're a bringer of peace. You're a bringer of harmony. And uh, I'm showing a Turkish series now called Another Self that's on Netflix, but the characters are demonstrating every week, every episode, that the issues that come up for them are just some form of the past that's still being clung to or held to in the unconscious mind. And I think your approach of just trusting and taking whatever's given you is the way that we are carried through uh, these challenges, because the unconscious mind does bring things up, issues or things that we sometimes don't even expect. They can be very unexpected, but the surrender, and I give this to you, God. I give this to you. I know this is for my mind. I know this is for healing. That's what allows it to be carried away. It comes and it goes when we're humble, and when we try to handle it with our own personality selves, it's not easy at all. It feels overwhelming and it feels stressful, but it's beautiful. You're just showing the way that, no, just be prayerful and faithful, and it is going to work out great. It does.
Oh, yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yes. Well, music, music for me is also, yeah, something intimately. Yes, when I see music, I am in this intimate, deep, confident spirit, and I just open up to it. Yeah, and that's also what when I write, I'm in this flow, and in this development trust. When I at the beginning, these dates, and I was a good student. I really want to do it right, and I gave up. I gave up the music. Everything what I was doing before. And I think it's just it's necessary to do it, and then we go further on the path, and then we see, that it was me just doing this, and then and then I did not know why I gave up. And then, yeah, and then to be in this, to use everything, just tools, whatever it is. In my case, is writing, music, just to use everything to to communicate, just as tools. And
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing how sometimes we have some kind of concept in our mind of what's spiritual or what we should be doing or whatever. But in the end, the Spirit always playfully reminds us, it's great. You're wonderful with the music. Have fun with the music. And then when we go into it, oh my gosh, it's so wonderful. It's so natural. And but I think of course, that's a part of the spiritual journey where you, even no matter what path you're on, the ego is trying to judge certain behaviors and judge certain forms as better than other forms, even though the first principle of A Course in Miracles is there's no order of difficulty in miracles. I can just see Jesus laughing with all these attempts to put something down or push something away, and just laughing and encouraging us. No, not necessary. Uh, you can use this. The Spirit can use uh, the body and a communication device in beautiful, wonderful ways, and you don't have to be analyzing and judging. Is this right? Is this wrong? But that's just part of maturity. As you go further, you start to laugh more at the silliness that was there before. Trying to be a good student, of course. Yeah, you find a book like A Course in Miracles, and you want to be a really good student, and then slowly you have to soften up. And it's really apparent with you. I think it comes through in your presence. You have very soft eyes. You have very kind, gentle eyes. So I can see when people would come to do like a one-on-one with you, they would just immediately feel welcomed and safe in the presence, to be able to talk about whatever's going on for them. And I think that's the key thing. That safety and that gentleness and non-judgment is that's the Spirit for sure. That's how it works. That's how it works.
Yeah, just to be in this presence, and to see in this presence, and and having choice. Everything is used for always this I need to everything.
That's beautiful. Well, I know that if you and Cillian ever decide to take a trip to the United States or Mexico, would be so wonderful to host both of you. Maybe when he has a pause, usually sometimes a summer break or something where there's a pause from school. And if you were up to it and he was up to it, I would just be so honored to host you both. And that could be just a fun vacation to meet a lot more mighty companions. And I've actually had our friend Efrat, her son told me one time, Jonathan, he told me that one time he didn't know too much of A Course in Miracles, and being a Jewish man, he was not, so much in maybe to Jesus as some people are, but he thought, oh well, I'm just living my life, trying to live a good life, and curious. But he went to a gathering that his mother Efrat was doing with a Course in Miracles gathering, and he said, I think it was, he just said his heart opened up. He couldn't explain what was happening or how, but he just felt there was a warmth in the people, and his heart opened up. And more recently, then he's felt much more of a connection with a spirit coming through him. He's not sure if it's Yeshua or what the spirit is, but musically, his heart is expanding. Uh, his his outlook is getting softer, and sometimes I know that's what I liked about travel, was that it helped me open up, because I was always meeting new people and I was in so many new places, and I thought, this is the spirit helping me to trust more, to become more calm and confident, and just enjoy the moment with whoever I'm meeting. It helps me expand. It helped me a lot. So, and I know, yeah, you do sometimes take your trips or vacations. So just know you have an open invitation if you ever feel to come to the United States or down to Mexico, because it would be, yeah, just delightful to spend some time with you and Cillian. Yeah.
Oh yes, that would be wonderful to meet you. We were supposed to meet two years ago, and then in Netherlands and Holland, but then a lockdown. But it will happen.
Yeah. It will happen. We won't let a pandemic get it between us. We'll come back for another try.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming on with me. And I feel this is in the flow. When you mentioned this day, I thought, oh, that's good. That's the middle day of my retreat on the involuntary nature of miracles. And I thought, wow, that's Jesus orchestrating it to bring Bhakti into the middle of my retreat on involuntary miracles. That was a nice stroke of love, like a fresh breeze blowing in, because I think everyone wants to see examples and witnesses, and you're just a natural witness to the miracle. When people think of A Course in Miracles, I would be happy that they would think of you, because they would have like an example of what the love is truly like. So thank you so much, and yeah, give a big hug to Cillian and all your mighty companions there. And if I make it to Germany, I will certainly come and look you up and come to your house in the woods.
You're so welcome. And yeah, thank you, David, for your light. I really see. So you bring everyone together in light. It's just like, yeah, just embracing things, everyone together. So
Oh, that's beautiful. That's what we are. We're the same one. So I keep trying to share the good news. We're all the same one. Okay, well, thank you. And thank you everyone for tuning in, and we're with you, and We're so grateful.
I love you.